Hello. Well, my new book, 12 Rules for Leaders, The Foundation for Intentional Leadership, with contributions from Bradley Madigan, is out now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and everywhere else you buy books. In this book, I address the 12 leadership areas that I have found leaders need to be the most intentional in to be the type of leader followers actually want to follow. From establishing a foundation of leading teams through managing conflict effectively, all the way through leading teams through change, knowing what to do and why to do it can help readers like you become better leaders in the real. 12 Rules for Leaders is a written continuation of the work I've been practically doing, leveraging the leadership training and development products and services of Leadership Toolbox all the way to leading keys. 12 Rules for Leaders represents a distillation of practical lessons I've learned, absorbed, and transmitted from training and developing 15,000 managers and supervisors over the last 10 years. Reading 12 Rules for Leaders and living it is like getting coaching from me directly without having to pay my full coaching rate. Look, this is a book written for all those leaders, some who call themselves managers and supervisors, who believe that their daily leadership decisions don't matter, or that their hard-won leadership positions are too innocuous and meaningless to matter much in the chaotic world of the now. 12 Rules for Leaders is the confirmation you are looking for that you are the leader for exactly the historical moment happening right now. Head on over to leadershiptoolbox.us and scroll down the homepage. Click on the Buy Now button and purchase in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle format on Amazon 12 Rules for Leaders, the foundation for intentional leadership. And that's it for me. Out. Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, Shorts. There's no co-host on Shorts. These are 6 to 8 minute observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now 6 to 8 minutes is better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Leaders and followers alike in the Western world have too much. And it is not just the physical and material items, material prosperity, or even good health and long life, physical prosperity. Leaders and followers have too much free time, too few physical challenges, not including health-related ones, and too much money. Those making between $32,000 and $50,000 per year are ranked by economists as being the top 1% of the wealthiest people in the world. For the very first time in human history, at least in the post-postmodern nation states of the United States, Canada, Japan, South Korea, and most European nations, people have an abundance of time where they do not have to be ruthlessly motivated by attaining or maintaining a basic need, such as food, clothing, or shelter, or where they aren't totally psychologically owned by ascending a hierarchy of needs, such as one described by Abraham Maslow. For the first time in human history, a group of people has enough abundance, comfort, physical, and psychological safety, and access to spiritual knowledge that they can choose a path with almost no external resistance, which becomes a problem. There is too much, too many choices, too many options, too many demotivators, too many dopamine-driven distractions. There was a study conducted several years ago that estimated that modern Industrial Revolution audiences formerly received 5,000 marketing messages in a week during the period of the middle of the 20th century. Now, those same people receive approximately 50,000 marketing messages a day. These messages are designed by intelligent marketers who deeply understand human psychology to create a false sense of missing out, a sense of scarcity in a time of overwhelming abundance if people would just open their eyes. Leaders have always struggled with how to motivate other people. This is a twofold problem, revealing both a leader's care for their people, empathy, and a leader's desire to control followers and move them around like widgets, controlling. Many times leaders will ask, how can I motivate my people? And the short answer is, you can't. People, your followers, must motivate themselves. Individuals at every level of the team and the organization must reach down inside of themselves and marshal the desire to accomplish a task the decision-making skills about which task to take on, and the willpower to see the task through to the end. There is no outside force yet made that can do this for an individual. Of course, the desire, ability, will, and focus to start a business, advance in an organization, or even engage in an athletic competition exists in individuals who ultimately end up leading. Thus, leaders commit the cardinal sin of imputing their drive and motivation onto others, and then are massively surprised when others resist. With that being acknowledged, there are a few things a leader can do based in clear, unambiguous science. You know, the same science that gave you your iPhone, to make the struggle with motivation easier and to make the challenge of growing and maintaining morale less challenging. Leaders have a responsibility to understand the difference between morale and motivation. Leaders must role model the motivating behavior they would like others to replicate. Leaders should develop environments that do not allow for demotivating behaviors, attitudes, postures, or mentalities, and be ruthless in rooting out those demotivating behaviors, attitudes, postures, and mentalities of the team. Leaders have a responsibility to engage in the discipline motivation requires, have the humility to acknowledge when it is not working, and the courage to change it. All in the face of an ever-expanding pile of too much. Rules for leaders. Rule number 7. Leaders resolve the mismatch between science and business. And well, that's it for me. Listen and subscribe to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast on all the major podcast players that you listen to, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and of course, Spotify. And leave a 5-star review if you like the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast. Look, we need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way that you can help us actually grow this show. And of course, tell all your friends. If you want to get started down the leadership path, our products from HSCT Publishing can help you and your team do that. So check out our training webinars, our coaching services, and more at leadershiptoolbox.us. And check out our video-based subscription service at leadingkeys.com. We've got books that will help you and your team grow. So pick up a copy today of My Boss Doesn't Care, 100 Essays on Disrupting Your Workplace by Disrupting Your Boss. And subscribe to the Little Red podcast we launched earlier this year with the same name as this Little Red book. My Boss Doesn't Care, 100 Essays on Disrupting Your Workplace by Disrupting Your Boss. And of course, pick up my most recent book, 12 Rules for Leaders, the Foundation of Intentional Leadership, written with Bradley Madigan. You're going to want to pick up a copy of that in April 2022. And you can get both of these books in paperback, hardcover, or as ebooks on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and any other place you order books on demand. Finally, we are on YouTube, or I'm on YouTube, or someone around here is on YouTube. So like and subscribe to the video version of the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast on the HSCT Publishing channel on YouTube. Just search for HSCT Publishing on YouTube and hit the subscribe button to get updates every single time we upload a new video, which we do that at least once a week. And subscribe to the Hassan Sorrells Presents Audio Experience podcast. Yes, I have 3 podcasts on YouTube where I talk more casually with a wider range of people about all matters that matter in the world today. Everything from fatherhood to criminal justice, Christianity to artificial intelligence. We cover the entire plethora of things that are floating around in my mind, and that's why it's called an audio experience. All right, well, that's it for me. Out.